Today I went skiing because it was such a beautiful day. The sun was shining outside, and because of that I decided to go skiing. As I was on top of this mountain, it hit me. I looked around me, and everywhere I looked there were mountains covered in snow. It was such a beautiful sight. I looked around with the clear blue sky, the sun shining, and in front of me was this almost empty slope, and around me was all of this beautiful landscape. And I thought to myself that I'm so grateful to be able to experience that. That I'm so grateful to experience this sunshine. That I'm grateful to now drive down or ski down this slope. And I had such a good time with my friends skiing. And when I came home from skiing, it hit me. A few years ago, I wouldn't be able to experience days like this. Because a few years ago, I had periods of time where I felt depressed. For, let's say, a month to 3 months straight, I had periods where I just felt depressed, where I felt down, where I had no energy, where I felt numbed, where even the easiest things felt hard. And most of the time I just decided to don't do them and stay at home and then play video games or watch movies or scroll and be on my phone. On some days, even playing video games felt too hard for me. And showering or brushing my teeth, they felt like a chore during those periods of time. And today, as I look back, during that time, I would never be able to experience those beautiful days where I just do things that I'm passionate about, like skiing, and enjoy the beautiful day and be thankful for the day and truly be happy with the day and just experience this day. A few years ago, I would not be able to do that. And today I will show you what I did so I can finally start doing more things that I'm more passionate about, so I have better mental health than ever before. A few years ago, when I had these depression periods, I wasn't able to do things that I was passionate about, like skiing. I wasn't able to do that because they felt so out of my comfort zone and so hard compared to my baseline at that moment. My baseline at that moment was just scrolling, lying in my bed and doing barely the minimum to survive. So then doing something purposeful, doing something that I was passionate about, like skiing or going for a run or reading, they felt so out of my league and so out of my comfort zone that I was simply unable to do that or to do so. And with that, my mental health didn't improve, because if I didn't do things I was passionate about and just wasted my time in my room staring at the screen, I wouldn't do anything, and with that I would still continue to feel down and to feel depressed. Luckily for me, I found something that helped me to go out of this state, where then I had the energy, the motivation to then do something with my life. What I did was very simple, very easy, but highly effective. What I did was a happy habit tracker. This happy habit tracker consists of 4 habits. Those 4 habits are reading, meditation, gratitude journaling, and exercise. And this habit tracker works like this. For 2 weeks straight, I did this habit tracker all of those 4 habits every day for 1 intentional second. That's it. For reading, to check off this habit tracker box, I read 1 sentence and then I could check it off. For exercise, I would do 1 push-up and then I could check it off. For gratitude journaling, I would write down 1 word which I was grateful for example, car. And then I could check it off. And then for meditation, it was 1 intentional breath, and then I could check it off. When I do this habit tracker, or when I did this habit tracker, I first thought to myself, if I do this, I won't get big. I won't read a book and I won't be able to improve my focus or fix my focus. But that was not the point. The point of this habit tracker is simply to give you a boost, to give myself a motivation boost and a positive momentum boost to then help me out of this depression state, and where then after those 2 weeks I can do things that actually, first of all, help me to never fall into this depression, but on the other side help me to do more things that I actually enjoy, like skiing. Now, that's the purpose of this habit tracker, to give you a momentum boost where you then, with the help of this momentum, you can first of all fix or improve areas why you feel down and depressed, and then do something with all your time that you actually feel passionate about, where you actually brings you joy, so you then be less depressed and have better mental health. To summarize this habit tracker that helped me to boost me out of this depression state was, you do a habit tracker for 2 weeks straight with the habit of reading, meditation, gratitude journaling and exercise. And each of those habits you do for 1 intentional seconds. So on the first day, for reading, I did 1 sentence. Then on the next day, I read 2 sentences. On the third day, I read a half of a page. Then on the 6th day, I read 2 pages and so on. And then on the 12th day, I read 1 chapter. For exercise, this was the same. First day was 1 push-up. Then on the 5th day, I would do 7 push-ups. Then on the last day, I would do an entire workout. With that, I gained myself and I boosted myself with positive momentum. And this habit tracker is so powerful because after those 14 days, I had such a momentum that then I could focus on the things that were causing my depression. Those things were my overstimulation, my poor health, my social problems and my lack of purpose. I had now the momentum, the energy to finally fix those things and focus on those things, and then to never fall back into the depression. But also I had time and energy to do things that I was passionate about, like skiing, like playing and learning how to play the piano, like reading more, which gives me so much joy and happiness and fulfillment to my day, and which just boosts my mental health overall. And I was able to do those things all thanks to this habit tracker, because it helped me to boost me out of this depression state where I felt unable, where I felt restrained, where the basic things felt too hard. And simply doing this habit tracker gave me the ability to now, after more than 1.5 years, to finally enjoy days where I can go skiing and where I can appreciate the beautiful day, when I can appreciate the company of a good friend, where I can appreciate just the fun and joy from skiing. On days like this, I'm so thankful that I discovered this habit tracker, which then enabled me to finally do things that I'm passionate about. So, if you're also in a depression state and in this rot state or in this state where you have mental health issues, then do this habit tracker, and after 2 weeks, you will see huge benefits, or you will a huge increase in your mental health and your capabilities to do more things that you actually want to do. So, on that note, if you have problems with your mental health, I can help you. If you click the first link in the description, you will have access to me for free. In there, I will listen to your mental health problems, and then, after I have listened to your mental health problems, I will then create a tangible action steps that you can do to finally make progress, real progress, tangible progress in your mental health journey, so you finally have a better life, so you finally aren't restrained by poor mental health, where you don't have depression, where you finally can live a better life. If this sounds interesting and if you have mental health problems, then click the first link in the description and I see you there for free. You may ask, why is this for free with no strings attached, no credit card required or no upsell? The reason is because I want to become an expert in mental health, and to do so I want to talk to as many people as possible, and to do so I want to have as much volume as possible. That's why it's for free. So if you have mental health problems, then click the first link in the description and I will see you there and I will try to help you. On that note, I wish you a wonderful day, take care and then get after it.